Hello everyone and welcome back to more Saya no Uta. In the previous episode, Koji and Fuminori arrived at Ogai's secret sort of vacation home type thing, and it looks like it's been abandoned for a really long time. So no luck there finding Professor Ogai, but Koji then attempted to leave a voicemail with Dr. Tambo, who didn't actually answer. And, that's pretty much all that happened, apart from, the fact that Saya raped Yo. But we're going to forget about that. We're just going to pretend that didn't happen and carry on with the story. After hanging up, Koji thinks back to their visit to the hospital. Is Dr. Tambo actually investigating like she said she would? The secret about Professor Ogai that she adamantly refused to reveal is still weighing on his mind. He talked to Yo about it on the way home, but they were unable to decide whether the doctor could really be trusted. Speaking of which, how is Yo doing? Koji hasn't seen her today. He didn't say a word to her about his trip to Tochigi. She might be worried, especially so soon after Omi's disappearance. Somehow I don't think that she's gonna answer. Thinking to check up on her, Koji dials Yo's number and is surprised when it keeps ringing longer than it usually does. Did she forget her phone somewhere? Just as he's about to give up, the call connects. The first thing Koji hears is a strange sound. It's not signal interference, but some kind of wet, distorted noise, like the voiceless groans or perhaps sobs of someone far away. No, these really are sobs. Whoever is on the other side is crying in misery. Tsukuba? Is that you? Who? There's a response, but is that really Tsukuba's voice? It's too twisted with agony for Koji to tell. Panic surges through Koji as he realizes that something is terribly wrong. It's Koji! Tono Koji! Tsukuba, is that you? Where are you? After a short period of nothing but pained moans, words start coming through the speaker one by one as though each takes an act of will. I was attacked by a monster and now... There's something wrong with my body. What happened? Hey, are you alright? Yo must be delirious or something because Koji can't understand a thing that she's saying. Her gasps and wheezes, however, are enough to tell him that she's in unimaginable pain. That sounds like a pretty severe malady to me. I'm rotting away. My skin is melting. My ear just came off. Unable to make any sense of this, Koji feels despair seizing his heart in an iron grip. What the hell is happening to Yo now, over 100 kilometers away? Only her voice gives Koji any hint of what she's going through, and there's nothing he can do for her. Help me, Tono-kun, this... I don't think there's a lot that Koji can really do for you right now. If you're currently melting, you'll probably be gone by the time he gets there. This isn't how my fingers are supposed to look. Well, this is a pretty terrifying conversation. Tsukuba, call the cops! Call for help! Yo, I think that's the least of your worries right now. Would you rather get help or you know, maintain your privacy, whatever is going on here? Yo suddenly breaks off into a violent hacking cough, as though she's trying to expel something filling her throat. Koji screams into the phone, his reason overwhelmed by the unimaginable horror that is befalling Yo, which is why he is unable to react quickly when the phone is suddenly knocked out of his hand, and also why he didn't notice Fuminori sneaking up on him until it was too late. Fuminori seizes Koji's lower jaw with his right hand, cutting off Koji's angry shout. Koji can hardly believe the strength of the smaller man's grip. So did Fuminori and Saya plan this? Did they plan to kill the two of them? I already know what's happening. Koji's biggest mistake was leaning back against the well. With Fuminori forcing him backwards over the edge, there is nothing Koji can grab onto. He can only flail his arms vainly against the air. Oh, so I guess Koji is going to come back as Sadako. Koji soon loses his balance completely. He feels a terrifying weightlessness as the world spins before his eyes. Before he can realise that he's been pushed into the well, his back strikes something with tremendous force. He thrashes wildly as cold, dirty water fills his mouth and freezes him to the core. Only when his fingers find the wall of the well is he able to regain his sense of direction and right himself. On his hands and knees in the mud, Koji vomits the filthy water out of his lungs. Although the mud cushioned his fall, he has more important things to worry about than being properly thankful for his good luck. He tries to shout, but it comes out as a hoarse groan, made even harder to understand by the echoes bouncing off of the walls. Fuminori's maniacal laughter, on the other hand, is clearly audible, even at the bottom of the well. Yeah, definitely Saya and Fuminori seem a lot more evil in this route. Sorry for interrupting your phone call, he says scornfully. Here, I'll return this. Fuminori tosses Koji's phone into the well. Koji catches it just before it hits him in the face, but he finds that the battery pack has been removed, rendering it useless. What the hell are you doing? This is no joke. It's a miracle that Koji is uninjured. If he'd landed the wrong way, he could easily have died. Wait, just because I'm not hurt doesn't mean that... Koji feels around the inside of the well, searching for something to hold on to, but the mud cover's sewn offers no purchase. It's obvious that he won't be able to get out without help. If you died on impact, you wouldn't have had to suffer. You really have no luck, Koji. Okay, I find myself really disliking Fuminori again. Hey, are you serious? Koji was about to ask, but the pieces have finally come together in his head. Today's sudden change in Fuminori's attitude, that smile that had always seemed somehow malevolent. Fuminori hadn't been smiling at Koji, but at the thought of his friend's death. Why? Though Koji's obviously going to bring it back because he's not dead, so I reckon he's probably going to get out of this situation okay. Even though he recognises what has happened, he can't understand it. Why would Fuminori, who was supposed to be his friend, try to kill him? True, Fuminori had wanted Koji to stay out of his business, but is that really a motive for murder? It's not that I needed you dead right now, exactly, but you could have become trouble later on. So I figured that I might as well take advantage of this secluded place to, well... Might as well. You're doing this on a whim?
お前、死ぬのに理由が欲しいのか?
Do you really need a reason to die? Fuminori replies coldly, as though he's truly amazed that Koji would ask such a thing.
何様のつもりだ、コージ。人は何の理由もなく死ぬんだよ。僕の両親がそうだったし、僕も危うくそうなりかけた。
Do you think you're special, Koji? People die for no reason at all, you know. My parents did, and I almost followed them.
むちゃくちゃだ。
You're crazy!
そんなに理由が欲しいなら、一人でじっくり考えなよ。そこでなら、時間はたっぷりあるだろう。
If you want a reason so badly, come up with one yourself. You'll have plenty of time down there, won't you? Fuminori disappears from view, leaving Koji alone in the darkness with nothing to connect him to the outside world. It would have been so hilarious if this took a ring turn and he turned into a ghost and was all, yeah, that would be awesome. Like, I know it would be copying The Ring, but these like shots from the inside of the well and the shot from the outside, they're literally taken straight from the film, I swear.
Fuminori! Oi! Fuminori!
Koji shouts at the top of his lungs, knowing beyond a doubt that if Fuminori leaves, all hope of rescue will vanish with him. No one will ever hear him calling for help from the bottom of a mountain well.
つくばが大変なんだ。おい、Fuminori! 聞いてくれ。ここから出してくれ。
It's Tsukuba, she's in trouble! Hey Fuminori, listen! Let me out of here! In his desperation, Koji no longer comprehends the futility of begging Fuminori for mercy. No god or devil will answer him. His only hope is that Fuminori will have a change of heart. As though praying for a miracle, he keeps calling Fuminori's name. Eventually, the sky becomes as dark as the bottom of the well, making it impossible for Koji to make out the edge of the opening. He has long since lost track of how many hours he has been screaming. Nevertheless, he continues to scream, for he knows that the despair silence will bring will kill him. That was a pretty intense scene right there. A lot of stuff that's not very nice. I feel great. This is the satisfaction of having found the perfect solution to a difficult problem. The feeling that you get when the last piece of the puzzle slides smoothly into place. I have killed a man, and no one will ever know. The path back to civilization seems awfully long, but neither the cold nor the exhaustion can ruin my good mood as I walk by myself down the snow-covered mountain road. I was tempted to use Koji's car, but that would have introduced a flaw into the plan. That cabin is the perfect place to hide both Koji's corpse and his car after all. The plan had formed in my mind the moment that I'd looked at the address and realised how remote the location was. Even if I couldn't find anything to lead me to Professor Ogai, his absence would at least prove that the cabin had been utterly abandoned, in which case it would be the perfect spot to take care of a problem. I knew that coming all the way out to Chochigi wouldn't be a waste of time. I didn't even need to use the meat cleaver that's hidden in my clothes. A dry well. It's like fate itself provided me with the perfect settling. That idiot didn't even realise how dangerous it was to be leaning against the well like that, and his phone call distracted him enough that I was able to sneak up on him unseen. Anyway, one of the people whose questions might have caused trouble for Saya and me has vanished completely off from the face of the earth. All that's left is to eliminate the other one. They're so in sync! Like, while he's murdering one, the other's murdering the other, it's perfect. Perfect crime. Tsukuba Yo. I mustn't underestimate her just because she's not as aggressive as Koji. Even she should be able to see a connection between the disappearances of Tono Koji and Takahata Omi. In a way, I should be thankful that it was Yo whom Koji was talking to next to the well. If he'd reported our location to a third party, I'd have to track down and eliminate that person too. I'm a little worried about what they were discussing, but judging by how Koji was yelling unintelligibly into the phone, they probably weren't exchanging detailed information. Well, either way, I'd better get rid of Yo as soon as possible. After walking all night long, I finally reached the Nasu Flats train station, just as the train started running. It only takes an hour to get back to Tokyo on the limited express. It's not enough time to rest, but I'm feeling too wound up for that to matter. Besides, I don't want to waste any time in thinking up a way to kill Yo. Using the cabin again would be too dangerous, and I'm not sure how I'd get her out there in the first place. I just lost my temper and exploded in her face the other day. I doubt that she'll be as quick to trust me as Koji was, which means that it'll be difficult to get her alone. Rather than dwell on it by myself, I could just ask Saya for her opinion. Even I have some pride, however. I want to show her that I'm a man who can take care of business. Unfortunately, I'm unable to come up with anything before I get home. Well, I suppose that I should just be proud of having dealt with Koji, who was the imminent threat. The search of Professor Ogai's cabin was a bust, with no trace of him having been there, but I see no reason to get frustrated. Saya isn't all that concerned about the professor's whereabouts, so looking for him is just something I'm doing to satisfy my own curiosity.
Tadaima.
I'm home. It's morning, half a day later than I normally get home, and the sound of Saya running down the stairs tells me just how impatient she was for my return. It makes me feel all warm and tingly inside.
Okaeri, Fuminori!
Welcome home, Fuminori! She enthusiastically throws her arms around my neck, her smile at least 20% brighter than usual.
遅くなってごめんな。いろいろ予定が変わったもんで。
Sorry I'm late. There was a change of plans.
私の方ももうちょっとで準備が終わるとこ。
It's okay. I'm just about done with my preparations too.
準備?
Preparations? Saya responds to my confusion with a mischievous smile.
ふみのりをね、びっくりさせる準備。
I'm getting a surprise ready for you.
どういうこと?
What kind of surprise?
まだ内緒。それよりふみのり疲れてるでしょ？お腹空いてる？それともお風呂？
That's a secret. Anyway, aren't you tired? Do you want to eat or take a bath first? I don't realise how hungry I am until Saya mentions it. When I think about how I've been walking around all night without eating anything, my stomach's emptiness becomes painfully clear. However, I can't sit down to a leisurely meal while covered in the dirt and sweat of the road.
軽く何か口に入れて、それから風呂に入りたいな。温まるまでゆっくり。
I'd like to grab a quick snack and get in a long hot bath first.
そう言うと思って沸かしてあるよ、お風呂。一晩中外にいたんだもんね。寒かったでしょ。
I thought you'd say that, so I got the bath ready. You must be cold after being outside all night.
ああ、そりゃもう。
Yeah, I sure am. I'm amazed by Saya's foresight. She's always ready to give me what I want before I want it. Of course, they're going to take a bath together
だったんだ。
and ruin everything. I was like, oh, I might not even have to censor this episode. Sounds like you had a hard time. While soaking in the bath together, I tell Saya about today's adventure.
殺すのは思った以上に楽だったんだよ。ただ、帰り道がね。
Killing him was easier than I thought. The hard part was getting home. The heat of the bath is soothing, as is the sensation of Saya leaning back against my chest as she massages the fatigue of the night's walking out of my stiff leg muscles. Her cute little collarbone rises each time she squeezes my leg, and I can see the soft curves of her breasts floating in the water. Oh, I'm home, I think, as contentment fills my body. I don't even need to sleep to relieve my exhaustion. Just like the living room and bedroom, the bathroom is painted in the colours that Saya and I find pleasing. We've left the entrance and hallway untouched, just in case someone should see inside the house. So these 3 rooms are the only places I can relax in my own home.
この季節でも山の寒さは尋常じゃないね。薄着で行ったのはつくづく失敗だった。
It was very cold in the mountains, even for winter. I should have worn heavier clothing.
夜中あたりは凍死するんじゃないかってヒヤヒヤしたよ。
I was afraid I'd freeze to death when it got dark.
そのコウジって人の服も取り上げて重ね着してくればよかったのに。
I love how casually they can just talk about the fact that he murdered someone. Why didn't you just take that Koji person's clothes and wear them over what you had on?
おいおい、コージは井戸に落としたんだってば。着てた服も井戸の底だよ。
Aren't you forgetting that I pushed him into a well? His clothes were with him at the bottom.
ああ、そっか。
Oh yeah. Saya laughs and sticks her tongue out bashfully.
で、あと心配なのがつくばよって女の人？
So now there's just that Tsukuba Yo woman to worry about.
コージが消えたのと僕のことを結びつけて考えそうなのはそいつ一人だけだからね。彼女の始末が終わったらやっと安心できるんだが。
She's the only person I can think of who can connect me to Koji's disappearance. After I take care of her, we can finally relax. Saya glances at me over her shoulder, like she knows something that I don't.
その人の殺し方、もう文則は考えてあるの？
Have you already thought of a way to kill her?
それがまだなんだ。いろいろと考えたんだけどね。だからサヤの知恵も借りようかと思ってさ。
Well, I've been thinking about it, but I haven't come up with anything yet. I was hoping that you might have some ideas.
任せといて。
Leave it to me, she says, grinning with unusual confidence.
さやはね、文則が想像もつかないような方法を知ってるよ。もう解決したも同然なんだから。
I have a way of dealing with this that you'd never even dream of. It's as good as done.
そうか。
Really?
さてと、もういい加減仕上がってる頃だし。
Okay, it should be about ready by now, Saya says, her voice full of anticipation. She rises from the bath, her naked body glistening through the steam.
でよ、文則。見てほしいものがあるんだ。
Come on, Fuminori, I have something to show you.
目をつぶって。私がいいって言うまで開いちゃダメ。わかった？
Okay guys, well, that seems like a good time to end the video. Another cliffhanger for you guys, but damn, a lot happened this episode. Anyway, you guys, if you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more, and until next time guys, goodbye!